vote to do this, y'all can raise my bill, which is now $22, and I'm hearing from them it's gonna be $23.80 something, which is almost $24 to $48 a month, because I've got two properties. And if they're not gonna exclude one of them, my bill's gonna double. Over double, because I'm paying $22 a month right now.
And both meters on the same property?
No. I own a warehouse, and somebody back here said something about, I'm assuming commercial property is not supposed to be on the mosquito thing. One of mine's a commercial property, and I pay mosquito things on both meters. So if y'all vote to do that, or to Jamie, I'm gonna be paying about $48 a month instead of $22. And I don't have maybe one bag of trash every 3 years up there that I take home.
The warehouse, which says commercial, though, isn't it?
The warehouse is commercial, but it's got a meter, so I don't know. I pay the mosquito thing.
It's only residential.
Yeah, this is residential. Commercial property should be excluded on this.
Is it from the mosquitoes thing?
We can double check that to make sure that that's the way
Because
it
this is commercially zoned property, and I'm paying for the mosquito thing since it passed.
And also, I got a motel, and I got a lot of meters, because the way the motel is built, I got little cottages, and the mosquito truck never goes to my place. But that's my wife's first place. I mean, I'm paying for a lot of meters. And that mosquito truck is like a block away. My wife said, follow me. All right. Anybody else?
I'm all for trash collection, but it just seems like this is a very big decision, and doesn't seem really transparent to the public as far a comparison of the two bids. And I would just suggest maybe having another public meeting like we did at the very outset for trash, so people have a chance to know what is under discussion and maybe let their views be known to you guys. I know that delays the decision and you're eager to get that done, but I just think we've got inflation, everything's so expensive, you know, for some people have fixed incomes, it may affect everybody differently, and I just think for this kind of decision, there just needs to be more public input. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go ahead and close the public comment time. Anything from the floor? Or from the council? We do have a motion and a second already, so that either needs to be withdrawn.
I will withdraw my original motion.
So we have a motion to table this until
Following council meeting.
okay, following council meeting.
That would be next week unless we're canceling it.
Well, that's under new business, so
even if we table it to the next council meeting, we're gonna have everything resolved, or we're gonna come back to the same spot.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Either we're going to do it or we're not going to do it.
We've been talking about it all year.
yeah. I mean, we brought this up several times, and now you've got some people for it, some people against it. And one of the areas that's on the for part is property maintenance and code management. You know, it's going to make their job a little easier. They pull up to the house that's got 5 bags of trash sitting at the back door, instead of using the trash can that is part of their utility bill. Then our code enforcement can, you know, give them 24 hours to pick it up, come back the next day. If it's still not picked up, they write them a ticket.
And then that's one positive note I think
Yeah.
about the whole thing. I
Yeah.
don't know if you live like where I live at. There's people where I live at don't have a trash can. They don't pay for it. They throw the trash in the yard. It goes around the corner, down the street into my yard, and I gotta pick it up. This way, everybody is required to have trash, that I ain't gotta pick their crap up when it goes into my yard.
So,
Well, if we're gonna make a decision tonight on this, then I'll reinstate my previous motion. Go with Sharp.
it's,
I don't see anything get resolved by the next council.
I can, I mean, I can agree with that, so.
I mean, we've already had a committee meeting, you know, at the firehouse. And, it was open, and we really didn't have anybody from the community come to it. And,
We've had all this time, you know,
Yeah.
since the first time we discussed it.
The only reason the fire department didn't have a recommendation was because it was me and James Wanick, there were only two on the committee. And we weren't gonna make that decision between the both of us. So that's the only reason it didn't have a recommendation.
Yeah, then I'll like to reinstate my previous motion.
Yes.
okay. All right, we have a motion and a second to, go with the, Sharp proposal. All in favor?
All right,
Any opposed?
No.
Okay, so that's, two noes and, so I need to do a roll call. So,
yes.
No.
Yes.
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 no.
No.
So that is 4-3? Okay.
4 yes.
4 yes, 3 noes. All right, so motion carries for Sharp. Okay. All right, under new business, just as a heads up on the next, council meeting, we have a company that would like to come in and do a frisbee golf. They were scheduled for the next one, that's why it's listed here. It was, you know, put on the wrong agenda. Yeah, and, so,
It's okay, they're gonna have a representative here.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, it's, you'll have a representative here talking about
I've been in touch.
what they'll do within the park system and how to pay for it and, you know, funding and different things like that. Yeah, so it'll be on the next one. So let's go ahead and, so we can say who the next one is. Let's skip to C, which will be, we have a council meeting this week. We have another one scheduled for the week of Christmas. Do we need to have a city council meeting next Tuesday, or do we need to wait until January 1st or 3rd? What is the, yeah, January 3rd. What's the will of the council?
I believe the 3rd would be fine, unless there's some kind of emergency in between now and then. We can call for an emergency meeting, but I believe the 3rd will suffice.
Yeah.
We got a motion and a second. All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so our next meeting will be January 3rd. Yes. Okay. So I will email Frisbee Golf back and tell them to wait till the January 3rd. So we'll go to B now, which is approval of replanting, or replatting the McPherson's property. The Property and Zoning Committee has approved that the replatting, is it planting or
Planting.
planting, okay. Replatting of this property there.
And there's no reason not to approve it.
Like I say, you need that in the form of a motion.
Yes.
Then I will make it.
Okay, so we got a motion and a second. All in favor?
All right.
Okay. Carries. All right. Mayor's report.
Sir, one more item of business. We have a bill from Bunny Appraisal, we need to pay for $850, make that in form of a motion.
Okay. Alright, so we have a bill from Bunning for $850. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
All right.
Any opposed? All right. Work. Okay. The mayor's report. You know, everyone in here we're here tonight with a heavy heart. Since our last council meeting, we've lost two outstanding servants to Lieutenant Craig Moody and Captain Robert Moore. Our police and fire departments have been dealt with a heavy blow. Attending the Officer Moody's funeral and the new one coming up for Captain Moore is going to be, it's going to be a rough day for them. These two will be missed. With knowing them and listening to all the employees within the fire and police department, there's pretty big shoes that have to be filled, and it's going to take quite a bit to fill. So pleased with the season and all for our police and fire department. Please give them an extra prayer. They will covet it, need it, and we look forward to it. With the next meeting being in January, the time to sign up for elections is now. There's one seat in every single ward that is open, plus the mayor's seat. For the council positions, you have to live in that ward for 6 months, be a resident of Kennett, and have no felonies on your record. You just come up here, Miss Brenda can give you a packet, fill it out, and turn it back in. Within the mayor's seat, it's all the same, except I believe is it 2 year? Yeah, 2 year residency in Kennett, no felony, and you can come up here and pick out a packet and get it turned back in.
Question, does that have to be proven? And if so, who would it have to be proven to that you have been a resident for 2 years?
It is, when you sign up, you sign an affidavit swearing that you comply with all the requirements. And if there's a question about whether you comply or not, then one of the other candidates is up to them. And if nobody contests it, you get elected, and you're not qualified, then it's up to the prosecuting attorney to file what's called a quo warranto action to remove you from office.
Well, all
Doesn't
right.
happen often.
I just felt the need to ask that aloud.